Good Monday evening, February 24th, and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Here are a few of the stories we have coming up for you tonight. The Columbia River Drug Task Force says a January search led to the arrest of a known drug dealer in the Wenatchee Valley. A Wenatchee man was sentenced to federal prison on Friday after investigators found him in possession of 200 images of child sex abuse material. Rain showers and lots of wind in our Tuesday weather forecast. I'll have all the weather details coming up. Chelan County will pay an estimated $6.7 million to build a new government campus in Old Station. Cascade Central Construction of Wenatchee was the low bidder last week, promising to build the new office and fleet maintenance complex for about $1.9 million less than the engineer's estimate. County commissioners purchased the land on Omi Garden Road last year for about $1.8 million. The county expects to construct 3 buildings on the property totaling 18,000 square feet, each with office space and vehicle bays. It will eventually be home to the Chelan County Coroner's Office, the Sheriff's Emergency Management Agency, and the Motor Pool Division, which is responsible for maintaining county vehicles. The Columbia River Drug Task Force says a January search led to the arrest of a known drug dealer in the Wenatchee Valley. On January 17th, officers used a search warrant to investigate the 300 block of Herds River Ranch Lane in Malaga, where they allegedly uncovered fentanyl in pill and powder form, as well as over $3,000 in cash believed to be from the sale of drugs. Police say a second warrant was used to search storage units and uncovered 2 pistols and methamphetamine. 38-year-old Daniel Grinch McClellan, who has prior criminal convictions, was arrested on charges of unlawful possession of a firearm and possession of fentanyl with the intent to sell. He faces a possible trial in Douglas County in May. The Washington Employment Security Department reported receiving a substantial increase in unemployment claims from federal employees following the layoffs associated with the Trump administration's efforts to reduce the federal workforce. Since January, 362 unemployment claims have been filed by federal employees, making the average rate of unemployment claims filed by federal workers 14 per day for 2025. Washington Governor Bob Ferguson says that his administration is standing at the ready to support federal employees and Washington workers. Earlier this month, nearly 40 workers of the Okanagan-Wenatchee National Forest found their jobs among those eliminated. State employment records show there are about 76,000 people employed by the federal government in Washington, including more than 2,000 in north central Washington. A proposal to more closely regulate wood-burning stoves in Washington has gone up in smoke. The State Department of Ecology backed away from its proposal to regulate wood-burning stoves sold in the state, saying it will not pursue a Senate bill that would have duplicated federal emission standards and testings for the appliances. State Senator Shelley Short of the 7th District said the death of the bill is good news for rural residents who rely on wood combustion to heat their homes.
While I consider the issue dead, I will be watching for a number of things to make sure that it doesn't rear its ugly head through potentially the budget. Good for people and the ability to use their stoves, their wood stoves, their pellet stoves to heat their homes, and for the manufacturers to continue to do what they do so well.
When we come back, prosecutors have dropped charges against an East Wenatchee man initially accused of vehicular assault for a November rollover crash. 3 Okanagan County communities will benefit from state public works money to keep drinking water flowing. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
Central Washington Water is your solution for problem water. Whether you're on a well or municipal water, they can design a clean water system custom to you. Soft water eliminates water spots and scaling on fixtures. It protects appliances from hard water damage, saving you money. Soft water reduces soap usage that causes skin irritation and is a healthier choice to drink. Call for a free in-home consultation or stop by the store to have your water tested. Central Washington Water, your best water solution for home, pool, and spa.
What are the best words you can hear tonight?
Order ready for Susan?
And if you hear those words at Abby's, you know it's going to be a legendary meal. Your pizza is loaded with toppings to the edge, premium ingredients, and real cheese. Yeah, baby. Gather with friends, play some video games, and watch the big game on TV. That's made Abby's a legendary pizza tradition for generations. And when you're ready to hear those magic words,
Tom, your order's ready.
you know where to go. You're always welcome at Abby's.
There's no place like home. Because home is where we're totally comfortable. It's where we can be ourselves and let our guards down. It's where we make memories. And we're always imagining new ways to keep it totally comfortable. Carrier. Total comfort, totally happy.
Turn to the experts, Carrier and Alpine Air. Heat and air, call Alpine Air.
Prosecutors have dropped charges against an East Wenatchee man initially accused of vehicular assault for a November rollover crash near the Otabashan Bridge. 36-year-old Jose Armando Valenzuela was injured on November 7th along with a passenger when the 2002 Hyundai sedan they were traveling in skidded off the road while westbound on Highway 2. The Washington State Patrol said Valenzuela had a blood alcohol content of 0.08%, the legal limit for intoxication. However, there was confusion at the scene about whether Valenzuela was actually driving the vehicle, and Douglas County prosecutors earlier this month said they would not go forward with the criminal charge due to a lack of evidence. 3 Okanagan County communities will benefit from state public works money to keep drinking water flowing. The State Department of Transportation plans to replace the Highway 155 bridge into Omak, but the bridge carries a city water main. The state today announced a $210,000 grant to study the best way to reroute and upgrade the pipe. The bridge was constructed in 1923 and replacement is scheduled to begin in 2027. Other projects receiving state awards include wastewater treatment plants that need renovation in the towns of Winthrop and Okanagan. Each of those counties can expect a $1 million grant to aid in their efforts. A Wenatchee man was sentenced to federal prison on Friday after investigators found him in possession of 200 images of child sex abuse material. 34-year-old Justin Boyd Renteria will serve 15 years after pleading guilty to receipt of child pornography. The Chelan County Sheriff's Office began investigating Renteria in the summer of 2023 while he was already on federal release for a previous conviction for child porn possession. The FBI found 200 illicit images and videos on a phone seized from Renteria during an October 2023 search. In the sentencing, U.S. District Judge Stan Bastian also imposed a lifetime of supervised release, meaning Renteria must report to a probation officer indefinitely once he's freed from prison. Coming up next, over 100 people jumped into a cold Columbia River on Saturday to help fundraise for athletes in the Washington Special Olympics. We'll have more on that coming up in tonight's feature story. If you're traveling over the mountain passes the next 24 hours, you might want to change your plans. I'll have your full local weather forecast coming up. That and much more still to come tonight. Please stay with us.
Between juggling groceries, preparing meals, and lending a helping hand, you're a hero without a cape. But who's there to support you? Aging and Adult Care honors caregivers like you, the relatives, friends, and neighbors, helping loved ones remain safely at home. Aging and Adult Care offers chore services, respite, personal care, and more. Serving Chelan, Douglas, Grant, Lincoln, Adams, and Okanagan counties, call Aging and Adult Care at 1-800-572-4459 for caregiver support.
NCWLIFE Channel is your local TV station based right here in the Wenatchee Valley. Be sure to tune in for coverage of local sports. Once again, this spring we'll bring you Prep Boys soccer, baseball, and softball. In addition, we're adding Wenatchee Bighorn basketball in March, April, and May. It's all right here on the NCWLIFE channel, our Facebook and YouTube pages, as well as our website at ncwlife.com.
Over 100 people jumped into a cold Columbia River on Saturday to help fundraise for athletes in the Washington Special Olympics. The Wenatchee Valley has been welcoming athletes from around the state for the Washington Special Olympics Winter Games since 1990. The 35th Winter Games begins this Friday and we're celebrated with a polar plunge at Walla Walla Point Park. In tonight's feature story, City of Wenatchee Recreation Supervisor Carol Andre spoke with NCWLIFE News about how the polar plunge supports the Special Olympics.
This is our annual polar plunge for Special Olympics Washington. It's one of many plunges around the state. We just happen to have the one here at Walla Walla Point Park for the Wenatchee area. It's a fundraiser for Special Olympics athletes. It helps pay for transportation, equipment, all that fun stuff for the athletes. Our goal was to raise $15,000 and we raised over $22,000, and there's still money coming in, so we're excited about that. Some years we do better than other years. We had over 100 plungers this year, which is amazing. So when you sign up to plunge, it's a commitment to raise at least $50, and a lot of people go way beyond that. Our top fundraiser raised over $2,200 by himself. So once you get going and start raising those funds, it's kind of this nice ball that keeps rolling and you raise more and more. It's a super fun time for the whole community to get together and jump in the cold water. It's a law enforcement based program. So there's lots of first responders and police and fire here, which is amazing. It's called the Law Enforcement Torch Run Campaign. It's an arm of the Special Olympics Washington State Office. So there's law enforcement all over the state that just dedicate themselves to these athletes and raising funds to help those athletes participate. If you've never volunteered with a Special Olympics program or sport or event, you should. It's some of the most rewarding time I've ever spent. I've been involved in it since I was 16. And then for our valley, on top of it being an amazing event, which the hoteliers love our athletes coming into town. They always say they're the best people to come stay at their hotels. But it's an economic impact to our valley too. It's one of the biggest sporting events as far as money into our valley too. So it's a win-win. We need over 600 volunteers to run this next weekend. We have 10 gyms that we have basketball at. We have cheerleading. We have alpine at Mission Ridge, cross country in Leavenworth, snowshoeing, ice skating at the Town Toyota Center. It just takes a huge amount of people to run the games, and we're still pretty short. We're at around 300 or 400 folks. So if you just go to the Special Olympics state website, it's SOWA.org, SpecialOlympicsWashington.org. There's just a thing you can click on. You can look at all the opportunities and just sign up to help with the opening ceremonies or scorekeep at a basketball gym with your family. There's lots of things everyone can do.
Time to take a look now at your North Central Washington weather forecast. Hope you had a great weekend. We did have a little bit of light rain over the weekend, really not a whole lot to speak of, but the good news, warmer temperatures both Saturday and especially yesterday, where we topped off at 47 degrees. Today, you can see as we look into Grant County and our friends in Ephrata outside our weather window from this afternoon, light rain showers falling in Grant County, and we have had plenty of that here in Chelan County as well. It began about 1 o'clock this afternoon here in Wenatchee, and we've even seen some pretty hard rain at times this afternoon. But we also have snow in our forecast. I mentioned earlier, if you're traveling west, you are going to run into some snow. Look at this, Stevens Pass, 12 to 18 inches of snow, and this goes until about 4 p.m. on Tuesday, so snow tonight and most of tomorrow. Be extra careful traveling west, and that also goes for Blewett Pass. Blewett could see about 6 to 10 inches of snow, and even if you're traveling up north, Loop Pass, 6 to 8 inches. Mazama as well could pick up over a half foot of snow over the next 24 hours or so. So just use extra care. Also coming our way, periods of wind, and that goes for the Waterville Plateau, also the Columbia Basin. Could see gusts on Monday tonight, 20 to 40 miles an hour. On Tuesday, that could go from 25 to 50 miles an hour. Here in in Wenatchee, we'll see about 20 to 26 mile an hour wind gusts at our peak, but the real wind, once again, Waterville Plateau and into that Columbia Basin over the next 24 hours. Not a bad day today. Unofficially, our high temperature, 46 degrees, just 1 degree above where we should be for this time of year at 45. Our record, 59 degrees, and that was set in 1991. Very mild this morning, 37 our overnight low. That's 8 degrees above where we should be for a low, which is about 29 this time of year. Our record low just a couple years ago in 2023 of 12 degrees. All right, a tenth of an inch of rain. That was from over the weekend. Doesn't count anything that we've picked up today, so I'll update that for you tomorrow. But it does get us over an inch now to 1.08 inches, which is still just a little over a half inch below where we should be for this time of year. Our sun came up this morning at 6:49 and it sets at 5:39. All right, taking a look at your temperatures as we get you into Tuesday. A big warm up. It's going to be a one-day warm up, mainly because of all the wind that we expect tomorrow. 55 for Moses Lake and Ephrata, 54 in Quincy tomorrow, 51 for Wenatchee, and then upper 40s. Eniat and Chelan, Omak mid to upper 40s there, and be nice and warm in our upper elevations as well. Leavenworth, high temperature tomorrow of 49 degrees. But remember, lots of wind is headed our direction. Mainly it's from this area of low pressure that's just off our northwest coast. It'll swing some clouds in tonight and bring us about a 60% chance of the rain continuing tonight. Low temperatures in the mid-30s. For your Tuesday, there's that fetch of wind from north central Washington down south and over in the Spokane area. A 60% chance of rain in our forecast for Tuesday as well. Warmer though, with high temperatures jumping up into the low 50s. Like I said, it'll be a one-day warm-up with that wind. Wednesday, high pressure moves into southeast Idaho. We will just see some high clouds in the afternoon on Wednesday and seasonal high temperatures as our temps go back to the mid-40s, about where we should be for this time of year. For Thursday, high pressure still in control with a big ridge over the Pacific Northwest. High clouds and warmer with temperatures near 50 again on Thursday, so we'll warm right back up by the end of the week. Same goes for Friday. It looks like a nice end to our work week. Partly cloudy and mild. High temperatures again above normal at around 50 degrees for Friday. And now getting into the upcoming weekend, things don't look bad at all. High clouds for Saturday, maybe a 20% chance for rain. Could just see a little area of low pressure just off our coast, but I think most of the showers will stay in the Cascades Saturday. Going to be nice and mild as we welcome in March on Saturday with highs around 50. And then on Sunday, more of the same, just nice mild weather. Partly cloudy for our second day of March and mild with high temperatures then jumping up into the low 50s. All right, taking a look at your 7-day forecast. 35 overnight tonight. Rain likely and windy tomorrow with a high of 51. Back to normal, at least for one day on Wednesday with some high clouds and 44 degrees. And then we're right back to the warmer weather. Thursday right through Sunday. We could see a scattered shower Saturday, but for the most part, look at those temps. Upper 40s and lower 50s. And that's a look at your North Central Washington weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Eric Granstrom and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
Follow the Wenatchee Bighorns right here on the NCWLIFE channel. The Wenatchee Bighorns are back for another season in the TBL, and we've got you covered. Follow the Bighorns on Saturday, March 1st at WB Smith Gym against the Willamette Jaguars. Grant Olson will be courtside with your play-by-play pregame at 6:45. Be sure to tune in for Bighorns basketball on your local TV station, the NCWLIFE channel. Happy Monday. The Seattle Kraken split games in Florida over the weekend after beating the defending NHL champ Panthers on Saturday 2-1. Seattle fell to Tampa Bay Lightning Sunday 4-1. Shane Wright scored Seattle's lone goal after the Lightning were already up 3-0. Kraken remain on the road at St. Louis tomorrow at 2 o'clock on Kong TV. Well, the Mariners earned their first Cactus League win of the season Sunday against the Diamondbacks. Seattle blew out Arizona 11-5 with J.P. Crawford collecting a couple of hits and a run, and Dom Canzone coming through with 2 runs and an RBI. Seattle was facing Milwaukee earlier today in Phoenix before visiting the Dodgers tomorrow in Glendale. It was a tough day Saturday for men's college basketball in Washington. Eastern Washington lost to Northern Arizona. Washington fell at Iowa, ending their hopes of reaching the Big Ten tournament. Washington State got clobbered by Santa Clara. Gonzaga fell to St. Mary's. In women's college basketball Saturday, Washington State beat St. Mary's by 10. Gonzaga edged by San Francisco by 2. Northern Arizona was 11 better than Eastern Washington on Sunday. Haley Van Lith had 26 points in 36 minutes to lead TCU over West Virginia 71-50. Washington beat Nebraska on the road 83-62. Let's catch you up to date on Prep District Tournament basketball and those qualifying for state over the weekend. Eastmont won its 7th straight game by downing West Valley 64-44 Saturday and will advance to the state for a tournament for the first time under second-year coach Joel Barnes. Congratulations. Wildcats will face Meade at Central Valley Saturday at 6 o'clock. That's in a loser-out contest. The Moses Lake boys season came to an end on Saturday in the final round of the district tournament, falling to Davis 92-56. Turning to the 1A girls, Cascade had its season come to an end in a crossover loss at Lakeside Saturday 56-48. Cashmere fell to Zilla in the district championship 69-36. First round of the state 1A tournament for the Bulldogs will be Friday night at Issaquah against Bellevue. That'll be at 8 o'clock. The Chelan girls face Tenino in the first round Saturday at 10 a.m. at Wenatchee High School. Cashmere boys kept their season alive with a crossover win over Lakeside 62-35 the final. Bulldogs face La Center in the first round of the state 1A tournament. That'll be Saturday at 2 o'clock at Wenatchee High School. The Chelan boys drew Tenino for a first-round game Saturday morning. That'll be at 10 a.m. also at Wenatchee High. District 2B girls tournament wrapped up at Moses Lake High School Saturday with Brewster taking the title over Cleellum. Mabton beat Columbia Burbank. Tri-Cities Prep beat Okanagan 58-45. Bears play Mount Vernon Christian at 4 o'clock Saturday at Wenatchee High School. The Okanagan girls face Liberty at Central Valley in Spokane, also Saturday at 4 o'clock. Columbia Burbank beat Lake Roosevelt Saturday during the final round of the District 2B boys tournament. Liberty Bell beat LaSalle, and Tri-Cities Prep topped Okanagan. Bulldogs will play LaSalle Friday night in the first round of the state 2B tournament. That'll be at Wenatchee High School at 8 p.m. Liberty Bell faces Mount Vernon Christian Saturday in Wenatchee. That's at 6 p.m. Lake Roosevelt plays Colfax in Cheney Saturday at 8 p.m. Pateros girls advance to the state Saturday with a 52-28 win over Soap Lake. The Nannies will face Nia Bay in the first round of the state 1B tournament. That'll be Saturday at 2 p.m. at Mount Tahoma High School. Waterville Mansfield stays close to home, that is, Saturday with a noon contest against PL. That'll be at Wenatchee High School. Waterville Mansfield boys advance to the state 1B tournament with Saturday's 58-49 win over Oroville. The Shockers play Sunnyside Christian on the road in a play-in game. That's tomorrow night at 6 o'clock. Well, smaller schools from North Central Washington prevailed at MAC Classic 36 at the Tacoma Dome over the weekend. Tonasket won its 3rd straight 1B/2B boys team title and its 7th in the past 8 years Saturday. 165-pounder Chubb Plank led the 9 Tigers to the podium with a championship. Okanagan had 3 individual champions and finished just behind Tonasket for second. Chance Patrick at 106 pounds, Tanner Grooms at 120, and Chad Bushing at 144 all topped the podium for the Bulldogs, who had 10 wrestlers bring home hardware. Okanagan girls took 4th and OMAC 5th in the 1B/2B 1A tournament. Kylie Kaiser at 125 pounds and Liberty Linklater at 130 were both champions for the Bulldogs. Wapato followed its district title with a state team championship in the 1A boys tournament. Cashmere's Chance Novak captured the title at 165 pounds to help the Bulldogs finish fifth. Omak had two state champions at 138 pounds in Daryl Nanpuya, by the way, his third title, and 144 pounds in Jesse Garcia. The Pioneers finished eighth. The Ephrata girls had four medalists, including Adeline Sanchez at 155 pounds as a state champion. Tigers finished seventh behind team champion Toppenish. The highest placers locally in the 4A boys tournament were Moses Lake's Drayden Gaither at 138 pounds and Eastmont's Ricardo Colunga Jr. at 215 pounds, both with fourth place finishes. Tahoma took the team title. Moses Lake finished ninth. The Moses Lake girls took seventh behind Richland as five Mavericks finished on the podium. The highest placer was Caitlin Rodriguez at 235 pounds with a third. Eastmont's Elena Dixon finished fourth at 110 pounds. With the MAC Classic tournament in Tacoma, I'm Eric Grandstrom on the NCWLIFE channel.
Wenatchee climbed within 2 points of Seattle for the eighth and final playoff spot in the WHL over the weekend. The Wild scored late in the third Friday to force overtime with the T-Birds and came away with the 2-1 win. The Wild fell behind early Saturday at Portland before scoring three unanswered goals to tie it and send it into overtime. The Winterhawks eventually came away with the win by a final of 4-3. Wenatchee ended the weekend back in the Wolves' Den Sunday with a rousing 6-2 win over Vancouver. Wenatchee plays at Spokane Friday before returning home against Tri-City Saturday at 6 o'clock. The Wenatchee Bighorns opened the 2025 TBL season Saturday at Wenatchee Valley College. The Willamette Valley Jaguars will be in town to face the Bighorns. That'll be at W.B. Smith Gym Saturday night at 7 o'clock. Grant Olson will have the play-by-play with help from Jamie Council doing interviews with coaches and players. Our pregame gets underway at 6:45 here on the NCWLIFE channel. You can get tickets to the game and learn more about the Bighorns at WenatcheeBighorns.com. That's a look at sports news. I'm Eric Grandstrom. Have a happy Monday.
And that will do it for our newscast tonight. For more news from around North Central Washington, you can find us at ncwlife.com, on our social media channels, or on our mobile app for iPhone and Android. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. Email us at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at, at 888-6295. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks so much for being with us and have a great night.